Hey, how's it going, everybody? So I just decided I wanted to make this video and just speak a little bit about, life and what's going on in mine. And of course, part of that has been I've been putting together a seminar that's going to be called the Melody of Mindfulness Tour, because it's actually going to be a tour. And the first one is going to be a 2-day seminar on March 5th and 6th, 2016, that is going to be probably at the Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington. Still kind of ironing things out, but what's been going on more recently is that, since I've been really busting my ass putting this thing together, it's gotten some juices flowing that used to be very, very, very important to me. A lot of you might not know this about me, but I built a music scene in my hometown of Centralia, Washington, and I put my heart and soul into that. And one day, they decided to vote to privatize the sale of liquor in the state of Washington. And, well, the one thing led to another. The taxes went up. The bar owners, the venues I was working with, they all like, oh, can't afford to pay musicians, and we can't have this entertainment or concerts anymore. And inside of about a month, what took me about 10 years to build, well, it was gone, and it wasn't gonna be rebuilt again. And I had made a mistake of just believing the concert promoter and all of that. That's who I was, when really that wasn't who I was. It was what I did. And yes, it was something I was very passionate about, but the problem is the mindset that I had at the time. I just went down into a nasty spiral, and I very, very nearly killed myself over the deal. And luckily I didn't. Some kismet came and got in my way and kind of showed me the light, and kind of got me back on a path. But for a long time after that, I've really been lost. I didn't know what the hell was going on in my life. I was just oh, what's up? So I went to school, and I just kept doing that, and I wasn't me. But finally, after working with Kyle, during working with Kyle, I came up with this idea for this tour, and every hair on my body just stood up on end, and there was goosebumps, and every time I think about it, it's the same thing. And I've been working on that, and just working on it, and all of a sudden those juices that I used to have, the adrenaline that I got, just putting things together, creating these events that I was doing. Oh man, it's great. I just tonight we had Chris Hendricks was supposed to show up and perform at the Matrix Coffee House in Chehalis, Washington. Unfortunately, the car he was in ended up breaking down, and he wasn't able to make it. But still, I had put together this show, and it was a great show. Just that Riley Lennon played, and this really awesome reggae band called Swayze Train played, and it was amazing. And I was like, oh man, I had forgotten that I can do this. I do this just so well. But now I'm like, oh man, I just, that's so small though. I just want to do bigger and bigger and bigger, and just really reach out and just make amazing things happen in this world. But while I was there, I remembered that when I was in college in 2011, I was the vice president for for the Rotaract Club, which is basically the college affiliate for Rotary International. And I heard that the local police departments here have a nonprofit organization called the Shop with a Cop Foundation, and what they do is they they collect donations of toys and jackets, and one day a year they go and they pick up less than fortunate kids, and they bring them to a place where all these toys and jackets are laid out. And the first thing the kids do is they pick out a jacket, and then they pick out a toy for themselves, and then they're allowed to pick out a toy for each of their brothers and sisters. After that, then the police officer takes them to a store where they're allowed to buy a Christmas present for their parents. And that in 2011, and when I found out about it, that really touched my heart, because when I was a kid, shortly after my parents had gotten divorced and my mom had moved in with my stepdad, it was a Christmas time, and we were having a step family Christmas. It was me, my mom, my stepdad, my stepbrother, and we were opening presents, and I didn't know it at the time, but my mom was doing the absolute best she could. She didn't have any money, but she went out and she bought me, essentials. She bought me clothes that I needed, socks, a couple t-shirts, a pair of pants, stuff like that. And she didn't have money to buy me any toys or anything, and I was really little, and I'm sitting here opening these presents and getting clothes, and I'm sitting and I'm watching my stepbrother open his presents, and he's getting all these toys that he's been talking about wanting to get for a few months already. And I just lost my shit. And I don't know. I guess I was an ungrateful kid, but it is what it is. I was only 5 or 6 years old. I didn't understand. But looking back, I know that my mom, meant the best, and that is what that is. But when I found out about this organization, I said, man, I have the ability and the position to do something to make sure that a bunch of kids don't have to go through the experience that I experienced when I was a kid and have to deal with that. And not only that, but their parents also wouldn't have to deal with a similar situation. I'm sure that when that happened and the fit I threw, I guarantee my mom felt like she was just the most horrible person in the world, and it's one thing that I'm actually truly sorry about today, even though it's been a long time. It's been almost 30 years, but that's okay. So after I put together a comedy show, using my club, the Rotaract Club, and what we did is we charged an admission where all you had to do is bring a new unwrapped toy and you could get in and see the comedy show. Well, and then after that, every year, in 2012-13, I did the shows myself, and I added music to it, and stuff like that, and it felt good. But in 2014, I was back in school, and I didn't have the time to do it. I was just too busy focusing on my studies, and I just let it get by me. But then I felt dirty. I felt horrible that I had let some kids down, even though the kids didn't know it. I had let those kids down because I wasn't able to make sure that their Christmas was better. So tonight during the show, something reminded me that this was coming up, and I just decided, hey, I'm gonna do this, and I've got a little bit over a month to put it together, and this time I want it to be a grand event. I don't want it to be a small time thing. So I already started putting it together, and this is on the side of putting together this event that I'm putting on in March, and which is turning into a tour. Um, and I already since I've started working on this tour, I've already put together one concert. Now I'm going to put together a 1-day festival, and then I've turned this 2-day event into a week-long tour that I'm working on. It's just going to be amazing. I'm so done playing the small ball. It's why bunt when you can hit a home run? And I'm looking to hit these home runs, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it for other people, you know, and that's the beautiful thing about it. And now that these juices are flowing again, I'm not lost anymore. I remember who I am. I remember why I'm doing these things, and I just thought y'all should know. Well, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.